What's up, YouTube? So today we're doing another episode of let's try to fix my broke truck with little to no money. So today I'm gonna be looking at this headliner. Now the Craig 909 and Auto Resto Mod, they have really good videos on replacing these, but I feel like spending, you know, $400 on a new board. Even you know, the Craig had a cool solution where he put the plastic liner and got that wrapped. But I mean, I'm just gonna try to refurbish this old one. I got some pitting going on this trim work too, pretty bad, all the way around. So I'm gonna use a couple techniques to try to clean that up and try to get that nice and polished and shined up. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna also pull these visors down and get those cleaned up. I know Auto Resto Mod used some Dawn dish soap on those and got those cleaned up really nice. So probably take those off, get those cleaned up, and then work on the headliner. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. Might as well try to make that look pretty. Got the dash looking pretty good. I still gotta redo my seat because my seat looks like crap, but it'll all come in time. So first things first, got to do the stuff that's cheap and free. So get some elbow grease on this headliner and we'll get to work. So yeah, let's have some fun. So when looking at this, looks like this thing's kind of deteriorating. So my fear is once I pull it off, I'll never be able to get it back on. So yeah, that's gonna be a risk. And then I'll end up having to spend the money on the headliner, but it's needed anyway. But I'd like to try to do something cheap, but I might have to invest some money into this thing. But we'll see. I'll pull the trim off and we'll evaluate the situation. Alright, so I'm going to start off by just taking the visors off, but this is pretty stuck in there with all the corrosion, so I don't want to break anything. So I'm going to probably pull the brackets off and then remove that out of the truck because I cannot get the thing unstuck. Both of them are just stuck inside. So we're going to remove the bracketry, just those 4 screws. Looks like a couple screws there, so shouldn't be too hard. And we'll go from there. Alright, so I pulled the 4 screws off, the visor fell off and just slid right out of the track there, so hopefully the other one will come out that easy. And we'll go from there. Some nice original paint. It's never seen the light of day. So yeah, I'm gonna take this other one off now. Alright, so I got the other visor off. Came right off. This bottom screw was really hard to get out. As I was backing it out, it was hitting the visor, so that one was a little snug, but nothing crazy. Got the little center bracket off. There's a little FOMOCO part number there. So I'll clean that up. Oh, there it goes, that way. If it'll focus. So yeah, I'll get that cleaned up. Looks like you could take a little love scrub and then get the visors cleaned up. I'm kind of worried about this headliner though. It's pretty brittle, so I'm kind of worried about it, but oh well. I want to get the trim cleaned up really bad. That'll look really nice. I feel like that'll shine up all really good. So onward, I'm gonna get the visor cleaned up, do the old Auto Resto Mod scrub-a-dub with some Dawn dish soap, and then looks like I need to do some work on these pins and maybe get some new little caps. So yeah. Well, as you can see, these things turned out pretty freaking awesome. We still got a little bit of pitting on this little shafts here. I'm gonna try to clean these up a little bit more. But yeah, it turned out really good. This little centerpiece here, this thing's super brittle, and I kind of chipped it on accident cleaning it, but you won't be able to see it, so whatevs. But yeah, those cleaned up really good. Good old Dawn dish soap. Thanks to Auto Resto Mod's channel for suggesting that. I kind of probably would have did the same thing, but yeah. So we're gonna get that back together, and then actually I'm gonna probably leave those out and start pulling the headliner off, and then we'll check out the damage there. So here we go. Good chance to clean all this stuff up too, so that'll be nice. So I'm gonna start off, pull this corner piece, work my way around, pull one side off, and so on. And it should pop off nice and easy. Here we go. Alright, so I got that piece removed. Pick up these screws. Looks like there's one behind. Oh, there goes the trim. I was gonna try to be gracious about it, but it just fell off, so there's one piece. Got my barrel of monkeys with my screws in it. So yeah, this headliner's not looking the greatest, but we'll see if we can salvage it. I'm going to continue onward and pull the rest of the trim off. Alright, so I got all the trim removed. Just a few more screws holding the headliner itself on. Looks like 2 up front. Looks like maybe 2 or 1 on the back. Yeah, 1 on each side, and looks like none on the back. So we'll see. I don't know if this thing's going to hold together. We got this center screw holding it up too, but I got all the trim pieces out. I got them all lined up. I actually marked them so I know the orientation of putting them back. I'll somehow screw that up, even though I probably can't, but who knows, I marked them anyway. So I'm gonna get that cleaned up. I'm gonna pull this roof off now. So here we go. Alright, pulled those 4 screws out and the headliner came out. Look how awesome my freaking roof looks. Holy cow. I'm pretty pumped on that. This must be a wire for the fuel sanding unit or something like that. I don't know, but maybe, oh, it's probably for my light there. Looks like there's something stuffed over there in the corner of that cab. What is that? Looks like some squishy insulation of some sort. Interesting. Well, yeah, I was expecting it to be a lot more gritty and nasty up here, but I guess it's never came off, so it's gonna look nice. But yeah, it looks freaking awesome. So got the headliner here. It came out in one piece and didn't break. A couple little chips over here. It seems super brittle, so I don't know how usable it is, but maybe we can make one. So yeah, that wasn't too shabby. I'm gonna work on the trim and get that all polished up, because I saw the little chrome shining through on these pieces. It never saw daylight and it got me excited, so try to polish it up like that and go on from there. So that's the next move. So the technique I found, I got some of this super fine sandpaper and I'm doing a wet sand technique. It's kind of putting tiny scratches in it, but I got this Mother's mag and aluminum polish, this good old handy stuff, and it polishes up pretty shiny afterwards. So yeah, that's the method I'm going to use. Probably not the best, but whatever, it works. So yeah, here we go. Got like 5 pieces to go. All right, well, so that was pretty effective actually. I just used some Dawn dish soap and some 320 grit sandpaper and some Dawn power wash and scrubbed it very gently, and it looks like most of that pitting came off. I'll probably spend a good hour or so using the Mother's mag polish, just brightening it up with that, but I'm really happy how that turned out. It took out most of all the pitting. Everything looks really nice now. So just a little bit of elbow grease. It's a good old Dawn. Got the job done. Alright, so I took the trim to work, used a buffing wheel and the Mother's compound and buffed the trim up really nice. Came out pretty decent, not perfect, but can't complain, a lot better than it was. And then the headliner. So yeah, I never went and got a piece of MDF and cut it out. I just got the same old one. I painted it, and it turned out halfway decent. There's still some waves in it. You can kind of see the waves going in it. And I set some books on top of it, trying to flatten it out. And in the meantime, I cracked it. So there's a little crack down there that I had to fix. But I don't know, it painted up and it looks pretty decent. The only thing I'm concerned about on the install is this corner that's kind of missing, and that's like right where the trim goes. But I think it'll cover. And then yeah, other than that, I mean, this little tab over here is broken on it, and it's kind of janky right there, but I think it looks halfway decent. I went and bought some of the Duplicolor Wimbledon white Ford color, and that turned out pretty good. So took a couple cans to paint that thing, and these are like 16 bucks a can, so that wasn't cheap. But I'm pretty happy with the results. So I'm gonna let that dry, maybe shoot a quick coat of clear on it. So I'll try to hold it in, and then stick it back in the truck and see how it looks. If it looks like shit, I'm just gonna take it back out and trace it out and get a new piece and figure something out for that. So yeah, we'll stay tuned for the install video. I'm gonna go ahead and paint this up, and then we'll be putting this thing back in. Painted the screw too. Alright, so I got the headliner back installed. A couple little pieces that chipped off are kind of showing, so I got a little gap there and a little gap in the corner. But other than that, it turned out pretty decent. Not too shabby, better than it did, and the chrome looks a lot better. So I'm pretty happy with it. Not bad. I'll say the only thing I spent money on was paint for the headliner, but I think it looks pretty decent. Now I'm just going to throw on the visors, get those back on, and yeah, call it good. Alright, so I got the visors in, and they look pretty sharp, nice and clean. The roof's not too shabby, and actually the visors kind of cover up the hole up there, so I'm pretty pumped on that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for the free little upgrade there. Didn't cost me 1 penny besides the paint, so I lied, but besides that, just some elbow grease. I do have the crack on the back, which wasn't there, but you could barely tell. And that little gap in the corner, which you could barely tell, but the chrome looks nice. The visors look spiffy. So yeah, just takes a little bit of elbow grease, and you could make a lot of change for free. So, yeah. Alright, well that pretty much wraps it up for this video. Next I'm going to probably get some rear view mirror for the interior. I need that, and I need to get the seat redone, so hopefully that's here in the very near future, because that is just no bueno. Once I get this done, it'll look pretty sharp inside. So thanks for watching again. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks.